one of the things we don't know, people always talk about being a good singer, like you said, or being accurate. We don't really know how common it is for people to sing accurately or inaccurately. We really don't have that. We don't have a lot of data. Particularly, we don't have a lot of data from people who aren't in music.
Would you mind telling me some about, basically that study or that tool that you're developing, that online tool, and how that is going?
A couple of years ago, we did a symposium in Seattle, Washington, where we got together people from really around the world who were interested in studying singing from an educational standpoint, a psychological standpoint, and a neuroscience standpoint. And this was Peter Fordresher and I sort of hosted this, and one of the things we asked everybody was, well, what would you want from a measure of singing accuracy that you could use in your studies? And so we actually were able, as a group, to come up with a set of core tasks that we would like everybody, we'd like to test people on. So this turned into the Seattle Singing Accuracy Protocol, or SSAP, which is almost ready to launch online. And what this will allow people to do is to go to the website, log in as just a regular, it just says I'm just a member of the general public, and actually be able to test how accurately they sing in response to different tasks. So the tasks are, number one is matching a single pitch with your voice that's given to you by voice. So the first thing we have everybody do is what we call warm-up tasks. So sing a familiar song, sing a pitch on do that's comfortable, like do, and just sing it for a minute, okay? And from those warm-up tasks, the program determines your comfortable range. And so then the rest of the test is given to you in your comfortable range, and it's only the range of a fifth. We're not trying to push people's registers here, right? We're just looking at the easiest thing they could do. So the first task, you hear somebody in your register sing do, and then you sing back do, and you do that 10 times, okay? For the next task, you hear a piano play that pitch in your register, because some people can match a voice but can't match another instrument, and so we're interested in separating out, helping people see where their problem is. And so there are 10 of those. So you match just a single pitch piano. So this goes by really quickly. And then for the next task, you hear somebody sing a 4-pitch pattern. So do 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 do, or something like that. And actually, I think it's more something like do, 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 do. Some of them go up, some of them go down. And you sing it back, okay? So that's all of what we call the 3 matching tasks, where you match you echo back what you heard. Then in the next part, you choose from a list of songs, one that's familiar to you. So there's Happy Birthday, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, Frere Jacques, Are You Sleeping, Jingle Bells, Christmas Song, that sort of thing. Pick one song, and the first time through, you just sing it as best you can on the words, and we actually put the words up for you for whatever song you've chosen. Mary Had a Little Lamb's another. And really, when we talked to these international researchers, they said, well, most people actually know these songs, even though they're in English. They're like, most people know these songs, so that's what we used. So then once they've sung it on text, they're asked to sing it again, this time just on the syllable do. So do, 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 and so forth, going on like that. Once they're done with that, the next part, this goes pretty quickly, is ask them to listen to 2 pitches and judge whether the second pitch is higher or lower than the first pitch. So this is the perception part, and it goes on and on until you can get to, like, my threshold is something like 1.6 cents. It's very, very small, so it'll get very, very precise. it's what we call a staircase procedure, so it adapts to your performance. But really, we're only interested in making sure people can hear big differences in pitch. So there's that test. And then after that, a short survey, just like a one-page survey, or you click through on your musical background, like how much training have you had? Do you study an instrument? Do you sing in choir? Whatever, what do you do? And then people get the results. And so what you get as your results are what percentage of single pitches did you sing correctly? What percentage of single pitch with piano? What percentage of pattern pitches did you sing correctly? And then for your song singing, this is the one that we're still working to try to make it better, but basically what it does is it matches what you did to a sort of a model of the song and says you sang with, about 75% accuracy or 85% accuracy. It says right on the screen, but I'm not as happy with that one. I don't think because I know when I've sung it accurately, and it's not always consistent. Most of the time it gets me pretty close to 100%, but every once in a while it doesn't, and I didn't really change anything. So we're still working on that. That's the hardest thing to get a program to do, is to take when somebody sings a song at any pitch that they want, it's really hard to then analyze what they do. And you get a score for your perception test. What was your threshold? And then that's it. And people can take it. We have a thing in there that says, are you part of the general public or part of a study? And you say general public, and then it says, have you taken this before? And so if you want to do it more than once, you just say, yes, I've taken this before. And you can do it. And so the idea is somebody who is taking your singing class could take it at the beginning, and then in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they could take it again and see if they're doing any better.
Okay.
Now, we know that improvement takes usually longer than that. So people shouldn't get discouraged if they don't get a lot better after the first time. But as far as we're concerned, people can take this as many times as they want and track their score. What we want them to do, though, is say that they're taking it again, because what we're doing is people's first attempts are going into a separate database. So we're trying to get a sense of, well, if you're 30 years old and you've studied music for 10 years versus if you're 12 years old and you've never studied music versus whatever, we're putting together sort of a database of how accurate is the general population.
So this is part of the study, and the people should... It's kind
of a database that we can use to begin to say, I mean, one of the things we don't know, people always talk about being a good singer, like you said, or being accurate. We don't really know how common it is for people to sing accurately or inaccurately. We really don't have that. We don't have a lot of data. Particularly, we don't have a lot of data from people who aren't in music. So that's why this is I see it as sort of a first step in gathering some of that information.